Hi, this is Gary Taylor, your old mad dog, here at Wharton Quarry, and we're attempting to climb the crag, Wharton Crag. It's about 8 miles from where we live, and it's a nice little jog out. It's not too difficult to climb, though I've not done it for a while, and as I keep mentioning, the knee is an issue, but it's a test for that, and also a test for not a test at all, but a chance for Lucas to do a bit of country walking. We've not had much of a chance so far. Lucas,
yep.
Say hello.
Hello on the MacDod channel.
Are you looking forward to this?
Yes, very much.
You don't know what's coming, that's why. Do you think you'll be able to climb that?
I don't know if I'll be able to climb the actual wall, but maybe if there's another path around.
Oh, there's no other paths. We've got to get up there somehow. What do you think? Yeah, we'll take the easy route.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the easy route, and we'll film a little bit as we go. It's not the biggest climb. It's a steady walk, but there are some little scrambles and some little bits of trickiness. But we'll continue as we go to sort of comment on what we see. Okay, for now, bye bye. As you'd imagine, in the winter, it's pretty boggy underfoot. It could be a lot worse than this.
Yeah.
I mean, I've walked through this one. It's been slopping. Yeah. So because we've not had an awful lot of rain in the last few days, it's just a bit soft.
I think it's less impact.
Less impact, yeah, it's true. I'm all for less impact. Yeah. Just have to be careful. There's no slipping. Especially with your ankle. A D, I should say.
Either someone's having a really bad time or a goose is having a really good one.
Yeah. It's quite misty out there as well, isn't it? Yeah. It's all start our climb here. We wanted trees. So there's wild deer here amongst these. There's also cattle.
Maybe my Spanish side will show and I'll start doing a tornado.
Oh, you may do. They're pretty docile ones though, in this part. I brought a metal detector here a few years ago just to see what I could find.
Was there anything interesting?
Yeah, some ring pulls off a can. Oh, and also we found a tag off an animal, like a dog tag off a collar. Yeah. And it had a phone number on it. But we suspected it was quite old and the pet had probably died, so ringing the people up and saying we found the tag off your pet's collar might have been a bit upsetting for them, so we didn't bother. It's been a while since I've been up here. Too long. Of a view now, yeah, through that mist. all limestone, so it would have been under the sea at one time. My geology is not very good, but I think that's about right. How flooded the fields are there, look.
Yeah. What's that town over there?
It's all part of Wharton, it's all part of the same village.
And that as well?
Yeah, that's the road we came down. We came down there, and that's the first pub I pointed out, the malt shovel, and then we came round and up here. When I've been on my own, I've wandered off into the woods off the path. It's quite interesting, you get a different perspective walking through the trees, you know, and you've got no path to follow.
Yeah. In the end we have to do that, they drop us off to the woods and they give us a map and a compass.
Yeah.
I think it's called
orienteering.
Orientation.
Yeah.
Or map navigation. Something that'll be fun.
Yeah, it will be. I'm sure it still is, but it used to be a very popular sport years ago. I'm sure it probably is.
Sport?
Sport, yeah. People had to get from A to B following clues on the map. So you had to run and map read and get to the checkpoints to win the prize. Orienteering.
I've not seen anyone else.
No, it's very busy in the summer. Oh, you see the cows have been here.
Yes.
Look at the footprints there. Look in the mud.
Big kakamaka.
Yeah, big kakamaka. Yeah, in the summer it gets really busy. Lots of dogs walkers, and even, you know, there'll be people out today, but it's very cold, and clearly it's not interesting too many people to come out. It's actually freezing point, isn't it? So
Yeah.
my fingers, what's your fingers like? My little hands, the fingers are freezing.
Oh, I might actually got one.
Ah, you've got big hands. All that blood gorging through your fingers. So this is an interesting spot in so much as we can now see the car
Yes.
down there. Not that you'll pick it up much on this, it'll be like 2 little specks, or 5 little specks. But So now we're right above that rock face that you were looking at earlier. Just down there. It's a home for birds that breed, and I should know the names of them, but as usual, I'm no expert on anything. Get a lot of bird watchers and they come and they film. And I once was doing a drone shot from down here, and a man came up, he said, "Oh, you're scaring the birds, nesting, oh, go somewhere else." So I did. I took him at his word, because he obviously knew what he was talking about, this ornithology guy, you don't want to scare the birds. I was just ignorant.
Well, and there's a sign down there that you can't take drone shots.
Does it say that?
Yeah.
Oh, those signs are reasonably new. It's that long since I've been, those signs I've never seen. And there certainly was no signs about drones. You had to use your common sense. I'm going back about 6-7 years. And as soon as he said, "Oh, birds are nesting," and oh, I was off. Responsible old mad dog.
Yeah.
There's somebody coming now. It's great when you don't always see them, but when a deer comes out and it stops and looks out for you.
And hopefully that charges up.
Yeah. No, they're too scared. Right. I used to skip up this, but taking it steady. Oh, not too bad. Do you think?
I'm just getting warmer.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's more likely. Whoa. We're balanced. Right.
Don't want to splurge all the energy now because I need it coming back as well.
Yeah. I think we're okay on the energy front.
Yeah.
We should be. I'm just having to be careful on the slippy front because I don't want to stretch my leg further than it needs to stretch. I'll be back to square one. Okay, not far from the top now.
Oh no.
No.
Seems quite a short walk actually.
See what?
Seems like quite a short walk because it's quite nice scenery.
I did sort of warn you that. But it's not straight up and down again. Oh no.
Oh no.
we've got this last little lift, and that's as high as we're going to go, but it's not as far as we're going to go by any means. Somebody up there. Somebody up there before us. That's literally the sea out there.
This is where we can see. Oh, like
yeah.
on the promenade.
That's right, yeah. When it's not misty, you can see that crag cliff face, and then this tops out here. All in all, that's it.
No, he's driving at box and trying to they don't know what they're going to do about the studio because Jamie's moving to Australia.
We'll leave this lady to a conversation.
Loads of money from
We haven't got a great view anyway, but no, that's not the sea, that's actually just flooded field, but the sea's out that way, but it's not not at all visible to us. Yep, but I'm quite pleased with that. We've not got too much scramble to do now, and there's a couple on the way back around that can be a bit slippery and tricky, but yeah.
This looks like something out of Traitors.
It does look like something out of Traitors.
Yeah, you think that it burned like lamps.
Yeah, well, it's a beacon, and from there, the next beacon could be out on another mountain, well, this hilltop mountain, and they lit them all across the country.
Yeah.
For, do you know what, I can't remember what for now. I think the Queen's Jubilee or something like that. It was some, what was it for? Why did we have beacons across the country? This was one of them anyway. Yeah, it's been there a few years. Okay, this way, and it's pretty steady walking now for the next half a mile. Well, unfortunately, I was unable to film that last 5 minutes. Very interesting that Lucas was telling me all about how he makes money at fiestas. How he explained to the channel, because that was funny.
Right, the last day of San Juan, it's like good fiestas that we have in Spain. They put like out big bushes of weeds, because on the last day you jump over fires. So what we did is just like steal them all and then bring them to our like house, and then we made crowns. That's what you're supposed to do. We were selling them for like €2 or €3 a piece, so we made a good €100 or two, and then I paid for our drinks for the night, so that was good.
Mr. Entrepreneurial there. I don't know if it's even legal, but it's funny, that's for sure. We're at the crossroads here. Here's the sign showing the crossroads down Crag Road. So these signs are new. It's been a little while, actually several years since I've been here, so I'm just looking at the new sign. The lane we're following now, I always like to believe, and though I could be wrong, but I like to believe that this was actually quite a busy lane. I think this would have been taken as its way over the crag for pack horses, carts, horses, that sort of thing, long before the internal combustion engine. I imagine this actually being quite a busy thoroughfare in its day, in the rural area of Wharton and beyond to Silverdale. I always think that. I've got no proof for it whatsoever. As per usual, but I like to think it, and I've had that conversation with John many times about, I can picture a little sort of, maybe not a big stagecoach, but some sort of vehicle, some sort of horse vehicle, transporting people and goods along this along this path here. If you can pick up shooting on in the background, I'm never sure what until I've downloaded what we're filming, what you can hear or see, but the shooting is most likely to be the clay pigeon shoot that's not far from here. I think, although it could be farmers, but it's too repetitive. This, it's sort of bang, 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 bang. I don't think they see rabbits that often, or whatever their game is. But I think it is a clay pigeon shooting event that takes place just not so very far from here.
Well, let's hope that we don't catch a stray or something.
No, I think we're safe from that. But yeah, also in the same area, there's a paintball. I call it a pitch, paintball pitch. I think somebody's told me that because I've played paintball a couple of times, and I'm sure they call it a pitch. But there's one of those just in the same sort of area, so you can either fire a shotgun or you can get blodged with paint. And we were just discussing it, Lucas and I. He's also played paintball, of course he has, and just how it can sting a little bit when you get it on the flesh. So down and down we go, all the way down to a tarmac road, which wouldn't have been. It circles the crag, or certainly part of it. Wouldn't have been there, I guess, more than 100 years ago for sure.
Yeah, you can just imagine like horse and bubbles coming down in.
Yeah, I always do. And then I look at the limestone rock and I think, would they not have made it a little bit more? Or maybe it was. Maybe
I think it was. It's just like being
worn down. Yeah, just by people. Yeah, could be the case. Good morning.
Hi.
If indeed it still is morning, I think it may be.
I think we're just on the right side.
Oh. So we're now on the Crag Road. We've come off the little lane we're on. A short walk down here, tarmac road, quite steep, and then we reach the bottom of here. I'm trying to think of what it was. I really am rambling now. I'm trying to think of. I think it's a cold. Well, it's got a big funnel chimney. It's got a big chimney. It's some sort of industrial unit that was back in the day, many days back in the day. We're going to take a right there, and then we follow it through a small wood, through a meadow, up another hill, and we're sort of on our way back towards the car park. But we've still got about another hour to go. Bit of a splodge there on that tree. That's from the old paintballing. Somebody's well out of the range if they're here, because it's about half a mile the other way. Someone might be firing off loose cannon. In the autumn, there are raspberries that grow wild along the roadside, so it's nice to wander down here and have your fill of fruit. But for now, it's a winter wonderland of bare trees. Lucas informs me the temperature is...
Right now, it is 0 degrees, minus 3 degrees temperature.
It feels like minus 3 degrees. I can vouch for that, but it's actually 0. I think not too long ago it was -1, so it really is warming up. It's going to get to absolutely yeah. It's going to get absolutely sweltering when we hit 3 degrees, I think, if we ever do. Mind you, once you're making a good pace, the blood circulates, and even people with little hands start to warm up a bit. So we're just at the bottom of that incline now, just coming towards that turn I was mentioning. It says Sea View Cottage, but I'm not sure you can actually see the sea from here. No, certainly not in this miserable weather, but can you see the sea from maybe that top window up there? I don't know. I suppose if they say it's Sea Cottage, you can see the sea, which is just out there somewhere beyond those trees. But yeah, and that's number 1 sea view. So they're consistent, the two properties, in the fact they maintain they can see the sea. That's just flooded field. Maybe a bit of the river. Yeah. So we're 9 miles from Lancaster, as it says, 2 3/4 from Carnforth, 2 miles from Wharton. We've walked 2 miles, so that fits. And Silverdale's just 1 3/4 miles in that general direction. We met 1 or 2 people, but not many. It's not been that busy. So this is the chimney I was talking about. I'll just get past these bushes. Yeah. So yeah, shooting, paintballing. That's what we could hear. The shotguns going off. The clay pigeon shoot. This is House Moss Farm, and that's the chimney. So it would have been, obviously in industrial days, it would have been used for something. And I'm sure there's people out there, if anybody actually watches this, that might have a good idea what it is. But I've passed it over 100 times and I've never actually bothered to research it. Was that your first pheasant that you've seen?
Yeah, so it's like a chicken mixed with like mutation.
A chicken mutation. That's Lucas's description of a pheasant, a chicken mutation. So usually there's lots around, just around this corner. I can't guarantee there will be today, but
Well, I don't know.
but there's normally quite a few in this general vicinity. Sometimes they're down here. Nope.
Nice bowl.
Yeah. No, and often they're running around there. I don't know where they are. Maybe they were Christmas lunches. Could be. Posh Christmas lunches.
Well, they're expensive.
Well, they're more expensive than chicken, mutated or not.
Pheasants out for peasants, to say.
Yeah. I was attacked by a dog that ran out of this building here once upon a time. Yeah, a dog attacked me. Just well, it came running out from here. It was dancing about. I was with John at the time, and it had a little nip at my legs, and then it ran back in again. So that's what happened there. But it's not around now. Well, it may not be around at all anymore. It was a few years ago. So just going through this wood here, during about March, you start to get the fragrance of wild garlic coming through, and it's a really nice smell. We really know it's sort of springtime when we smell that, and it's all around here just growing wild. A few fallen trees here. These are ancient woods. You can tell how gnarled the trees are. Yeah, all along here the garlic grows. No sign obviously of it at the moment though.
Is it a protected plant here?
I don't know. I don't know of any other place where it grows in such abundance. It just is just all around, both sides of the path.
In Spain you can't pick cotton, not cotton, wild rosemary.
Oh, that's obviously protected then.
Yeah.
What surprises me is that here we are, sort of the back end of January, and in a couple of months we'll have this garlic up, and yet I can't see any sign of it at all. Where it must, I don't know how it does it, but it's here every year. Somebody's kindly cut that log for us.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I could have done it on this one as well.
Nobody about today or this afternoon. We saw those people earlier, but
Yeah, it was busier for
up on the crag.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog walkers, but not as many people do this part of the walk. This is like an extension to it that
Yeah.
we always sort of tacked on because we felt the walk just up and down wasn't sufficient. Now this field here is full of cows, so we have to be careful. Not that there's any here today, but I mean in general we have to be careful. If we've got a dog or dogs with us, keep them on a lead obviously, because they're often just up on this hill here or down that bottom end. They seem to congregate and then they'll wander across the path, and in a few weeks time they'll be in calf now, but the calves will be out with them, so they're particularly interested who's following along the path here. That's that noise going off again, a big bang. And that's not shotgun. Don't know what it is, but
Maybe it's is that a slaughterhouse as well or not?
I don't think it is now. I think it's just a farm. There'll be a local abattoir away from here that'll deal with that sort of thing, but they could be blowing up moles.
I want to take part in that activity.
Used to be a guy that I went to college with many years ago when he lived in the country. He actually lived in the gatehouse, him and his mum and dad, of a stately home, a place called Hocker Hall, not far from here. And I visited him once. He had a party one Easter, and we walked from my house all the way there. And we shouldn't have done, we walked over the railway bridge across the river at Arnside. You're not supposed to do that, but we did. Anyway, that's what we did. And but Brian was, as it was his name, was a great teller of stories. And a lot of the guys that went to my college came from all over the country. It was a merchant navy college, so they weren't all local people. And they thought it was amazing, all these stories. Most of which, was, let's say, fabricated, to be kind. But he had one story which he spoke about a rabbit called Jack Rabbit And Jack Rabbit was like this monstrous great rabbit that lived near them. And any tourists, people like rambling, hiking across the fields where Jack lived, he'd jump out of his hole and he'd run at them. And he'd nip them, chase them off his field. So they had to put signs up to warn the people walking there.
Beware of the rabbit.
Yeah, beware Jack the rabbit. So him and his mates, having seen a safari programme on television, decided to convert. One of the lads was old enough to drive, he had a mini car. So they bolted a seat on top of the mini car and they strapped Brian into it, and then they put the headlights on because they did it at night when Jack would be out and about. And hang on a second. Yeah, so they strapped this seat to the top of the Mini. They strapped Brian in it, and he had a nickname at college. His nickname was 12 bore because he had a 12 bore shotgun. So he's on top of the car with his 12 bore shotgun, and they're driving around the fields in the middle of the night with the headlights on, looking for Jack, so they could finally finish the legend of Jack the Rabbit, kill him off. Anyway, as fast as they could drive, and every time he shot, he missed him because he was so fast. Was Jack? He'd duck in and out, dodge in and out, bobbing and weaving his way around the field as they drove, scare 'em, kicking up dirt behind them and everything. And if for the fact that he was strapped to the seat, he would have been flung off. But he was blasting away. In the end, they had to give up on it. So they came up with another ingenious plan. They pretty much knew where Jack's warren was, where he lived, his hole. So they decided, and this came straight from Brian, to steal some TNT from the railway company. And they offered, I can't remember how much, but they were charging local guys who got shotguns who wanted to join in, a figure, I don't know what it was, £5, £10, I don't know, I can't remember, it was a while ago, a long time ago. And the plan was that once they'd blown Jack out of his hole, his home, it'd be too many guns, he couldn't escape so many guns, they would finally get him. So they set the TNT, I think they got like a dozen people with guns plus Brian with his. They set the TNT and blew it, and up it went, all the earth, everything went up in the air, and up in the air went Jack in the sky, like flying high. And they all, like as if he was a clay pigeon, they were all boom 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 shooting at this rabbit in the air as it was coming down, but not one pellet touched Jack's fur, and he just hit the deck. He was stunned for a moment. Brian got as close as he ever got to him without being nipped. He went and he just jumped up, shot off. Everybody was out of cartridges because they used them up while shooting him in the air. And he ran off across the field. He was never seen again.
Oh, was this a real story?
Yeah, that's what Brian was saying. It really happened. Now, we had some doubts about that story, Lucas, I have to say. There's a few holes in the story, but that's just about, not bad, because that's about 50 years ago I heard that story, maybe a bit longer. That's pretty much how he told it. And he told it a lot. It wasn't just like the once, because he was in digs with us. There was 5 of us lived in like a B&B place through the week. So that story was often trotted out. The other one, which because I lived opposite the bay, he lived the other side of the bay to where I was growing up, and I knew this to be a fact. He got ridiculed, and in fact people wrote on the toilet doors about Brian's exploits, and he used to call them spins, like lies, spins. What's he like? What's the spin of the week? And it'd be like the spin of the week on the back of the toilet door. And one of them was fishing with tractors. Right? But I happen to know that this was true. It was one of the few things he said that I could back up for him, because, like I say, I was living across the bay. We know what goes on across the bay. People were coming from like London areas and all over, so they didn't know this was the case. But what they used to do was go out in tractors when it was quite a low tide, and then they would drive along with these nets behind, and they would gather up fish and shrimps and things like that were just swimming about in the low waters, and they'd gather it up, and then at the end of the drive they just see what they've got in the net. Like, it'd be small, I don't know what's a gauge, small gauge netting. And that was true. I don't know if they still do it now, but they do. Several fishermen use tractors for fishing. But he got absolutely hammered for that, because they were all saying, well, it's another of his lies. But it wasn't, it was true. And
he's got some good imagination.
I'll say.
Boy who cried wolf.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny, Brian Robinson's name was. It's funny, I can remember his name, and yet I can't remember some of my own teachers' names. But he sort of stood out, and he's been like a constant companion with me in memory form for all my life. It's weird. He wasn't really one of our sort of closest mates. He wasn't even doing the same courses we were doing. He was doing a radio operator for a trawler, and we were doing radio operator for like any ships, big liners, whatever. But yeah, Brian's. It's also, he ate a lot. Boy, that kid could eat. So he'd have his, and it was a tea. It was like 5 o'clock. We're home from college, 4:30. Tea 5 on the table. We'd eat, and then we'd all go in this little lounge room that was ours to sit in, television on. And then about 7 o'clock, Brian had got the chippy. Every single night he went to the chippy for sausage and chips.
Where did he get his money from?
I don't know. He had enough. From his parents, probably. Like I say, they lived in the gatehouse of a small manor house. It's got its own estate, Hooker Hall, and they worked for the Lord of the Manor, both his mum and dad. So I don't think they had any sort of rent to pay on where they lived. It was part of the job. So I don't know, but he had enough for sausages, chips and gravy every night, and off he'd go. He'd come back, and he'd they just started with styrofoam containers, you know, that polystyrene stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty much just about started with that then. So he'd have chips, gravy, sausage, and it would be wrapped up in a piece of paper, which he'd sit in his chair. He'd open the paper up. He'd get his knife and fork, and he'd eat it on his knee. Every night. And then one day, and funny enough, the people who owned the boarding house that I was staying at, until we had a big row and I left with one of the other lads, we had a row about the heating. It was freezing one year, and they had power cuts, and they got a little gas heater thing in their quarters, where we were, the lads, the bedrooms and our little living room, freezing, and we had like a big powwow with them and said, this isn't on, we're paying rent now. So nothing we can do. We go, well, you've got heat in the back there, you and your kids. But their name was Taylor, same as me. So Mrs. Taylor came in one day, and she said, boys, we seem to be missing a lot of cutlery. And we're like, yeah. So, because you're that age, aren't you? You're sort of 17. Yeah. And it's like, well, we haven't had it. We have our tea and we leave the plates and then you wash them up. Oh no, she said, it's out of and there was like a big sideboard thing with big heavy drawers, and the knives and forks were in there. Well, it was discovered that what he was doing every night, Brian, because she found some in the bin, she checked it and she found it, and he must have been doing it for about 2 weeks before. He was eating with a knife and fork. When he finished, he was putting it into the container, not thinking, wrapping it up with the paper again, and then throwing it in the bin. So every night, knife and fork, cutlery, not plastic, metal, bing, in the bin.
You have to watch out in this field. It's like landmines. There's little crackers everywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's the rabbits and such.
Them rabbits must be Jack.
So they would have been. See how thick they are. They would have been at the bottom of the sea at one time. How flat. They've just been lifted up. As most of the land is, obviously. That's why it's up the top of the crag, and it's still limestone.
What's that island with all of them like rock structures? What's it called? The Easter Island?
Easter Island. It's got the statues' heads and bodies.
You sometimes wonder if they got it there.
Yeah. Well, somebody's made them, but they're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, so it must have been a hell of a job to get out there without decent ships and things. But they did it.
Yes, and without a crane to put it on top.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know. I can remember a documentary saying that there was kind of like different thoughts about how they were creating and how long they've been there, how old they are. But they think something cataclysmic took place that wiped everybody out, killed them all. Either disease or they were attacked or something, and it just wiped the people who built it was just wiped out in one go. There was no sign of them when they were found. There was nothing else on the island except the statues.
And there's no sign of how the pyramids of Giza got there, but someone did it. Someone put a couple of rocks over the shoulder.
Yeah.
Is there any snakes around there?
There are slow worm. I do know that. So like an adder. The only venomous snake in Britain is an adder, and that can bite you. And if you're susceptible to the venom, it could kill you. But here's the thing. I think again, you'd have to check it for accuracy. But there's been like one person died in 100 years of an adder bite. You know, you've got to be really kind of. First of all, they're very shy. So they don't come out too easily, so they're not going to leap out at you. They're only about this long. I have seen a few over the years of walking, sunbathing. They come out when it's very warm and the sun's out. You sometimes walk along a path, you go, what's that? There's a bit of string, and then you look down and it's actually it's one of these adders. But to all intents and purposes, no, we haven't really got any venomous snakes.
Spain's got quite a few.
Spain has, yeah. Whereabouts are they? In the hills?
No. Well, in the hills as well, but there's quite a few, like the called. This is the problem. I can't remember the word.
Well, what describe
in the fields?
In the fields, yeah, okay.
In the fields,
yeah.
Lots of them, like big ones as well.
Yeah.
Big long fat ones.
Yeah. And they bite, do they?
I'm sure they would bite you, but I don't think they're venomous. Like, you see loads of them on the floor that's been squashed.
Oh, right.
Like frogs and things.
Yeah. I've got plenty of frogs, you see a lot of them. Well, we've got them in our garden. Yeah.
There was always one at Auntie Sharon's house. Just like chill out outside the cabin that I used to sleep in. And when it was raining, just look outside to check it was there. Just like, and like a cat that used to appear sometimes, well, every night.
Good afternoon.
Are you alright?
Yeah, good, thanks. So here's some livestock. Look, you were asking about sheep and cattle.
You turn left or right now?
Right here.
Don't want to slip in there.
No. Afternoon. Big slabs here. Afternoon.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
You're well and truly warm, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling it myself, but it's going to be too much of a mess to take all my gear off.
Oh yes, but now this wind cold and stuff. It's breezy.
Yeah. So not far down this road now, so we come to a turning just down here, and it's the lane we came down the hill from off the tops. It's the beginning of that. We just come all the way around the bottom. Sometimes we go up that way, but it only takes us to the same place, which is this steep hill. We did some, not quite sure which field it is, but we did some metal detecting. Sonia, my friend, her boss had some land out here. I think it was a boss, but somebody she was involved with from work, and he allowed us to metal detect. It was really rough, the ground, and hard. We spent about an hour on it and gave up. It was...
You find anything?
Yeah, more ring pulls off cans. No dog tags though. Yeah, no, I don't even remember. We got and we're going up here. I don't even think we got any ring pulls. I don't think we were that lucky. It was really rough going. We were hoping for Viking hordes in that field, but yeah, we just got blistered hands. We're digging.
Yeah.
So this goes up pretty steep. Now this makes me wonder about my theory about this being a road up and over the back of the crag from here in Wharton and then up into Silverdale at the side that we came down earlier, because it's so... I mean, you could take these trees out and take these roots out, because it's all overgrown since, but would they have got a stage... Well, not a stagecoach, but would they have got a horse-drawn vehicle up here?
Seeing as though the actual...
I suppose if they got elephants over the Alps, they could have got horses up here. Thinking, answering my own question, could they do it? I mean,
it's too steep, and if it would rain, I don't know what you call it. I don't ever call paws.
Hooves. Horses' hoovers.
I don't know if the hooves would have any grip on here.
Yeah. And you've got these channels here. Not quite sure. I mean, that's just obviously the water comes down, it's channeled away. But yeah, so my theory that pack horses or small carts would travel up here, up and over the top, to save them going all the way around. I don't know how. It's a bridleway. You know, thinking about it, this is a bridleway, and a bridleway is a path for horses going through there.
Oh, not one.
I'll show you just down there behind you, that tree. There's a little hollow here. See water in it?
Yes.
My old dog's Ben, because every time we walked him, he comes straight to this and he'd have his drink here, waiting for him.
After you, my good son.
You're welcome. Whoa! Now then.
I don't think anybody walks from here.
Oh, yeah, they do, but I'm thinking it might be 4 years since I've been on this particular path. You've got the village down there. That road we're on continues down to the village.
What village is that?
That's Wharton. Yeah.
It looks very, very small.
You've got to be very careful on this bit. And this carries on for about another half a mile.
Like this?
Yep. So I'm gonna switch off this, carry on with the head camera, because I need both hands for this next bit of the operation, and so will you.
It's raining.
Raining will be the least of your problems. Falling will be your main problem.
It's expensive to get airlift. Careful, go with your phone.
Is it expensive to get what, sorry?
To get airlifted in England.
It's free.
Really?
Well, it comes under the NHS. Although there is a charity, air ambulance. In fact, Mrs. Taylor pays into that as one of her many charities. That's not too bad. If I seem cautious, that's because I'm being cautious. And I'd rather that and save any issues.
I'm being cautious as well.
Good.
Don't want to slip.
Are those white shoes being cautious?
Probably not. Well, then my painting shoes.
Your painting shoes?
Yeah. So I'm just coating them with one more.
Yeah, painting them muddy colour.
But doing well.
Okay.
So we're backtracking that really steep hill that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Good.
Here comes Mr. White Shoes. You okay?
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
That's the way. This is really quite boggy here. From what we experienced earlier on the walk, it's like all the water that's been drained off the top of the crags all come down here. It's not by any means the first time I've seen it like this, but I keep reminding people myself, keep reminding myself it's been a while since I've been up here. trying to stop getting his shoes wet. I'm not at the point of getting them muddy. It's highly unlikely I'll ever have anything like this to contend with on joggle, as I'm 90% on the roads, and I won't be looking for this kind of terrain to slow me down. As interesting as it is walking through woods. Right, we've got another drop off here, so I've got to be really careful. In fact, this is a place where a friend of my friend John, who I mention often, he came a cropper down here, broke his ankle just on this little innocuous bit of descent. He just slipped and snapped. It can happen so easy. And we're down. Do you remember me telling you about a friend of mine, John's friend, who broke his ankle?
Yes.
Just there. Just coming down that.
You're not giving me much confidence.
Well, you're nearly down now.
Oh, yes, but...
But I don't know where he was when it happened because I wasn't around. It was a story that was told to me.
Those are moles, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, not so much moles, but the waste that they leave.
Yes, I know what they're looking for.
Sanctuary. Have you thought about this? We can't do it before you go to your granddad's because it's only a couple of days away. Well, we could do it tomorrow, I suppose. This hot pepper challenge, how are you going to do it?
Oh, yes. I think, as I said, we should do it's whatever you prefer, either with a piece of bland something and dab it on, or just a little spoonful of each.
Yeah.
And then for the big grand finale, we get a big spoonful
of the Carolina Reaper.
Yes.
Well, as I said to you, this is your gig. I'm just going to film it and take part in it, but you're the person who's going to organise it and say, right, you present it however you want to present it. You just say, right, Gal, this is what we're doing, and then I just go along with that. It's your organisation.
Okay.
You pick the time and the place and the format and the whole deal and all that jazz.
Oh, I think good, and I've seen lots of videos too. Like, first we present all the bottles that we can
Yeah.
and then just start dishing it out on different teaspoons or whatever.
Okay.
And you put a time lapse of it, like, well, fast, like you speed it up.
Yeah.
And
I haven't done any of those video special effects, but I know certainly how I can do it. Yeah, you give me the direction and I'll work it. I wonder what's for dinner tonight. You see the West Coast Line train coming down here.
It's quite fast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite a quick line when it's not being disrupted by rail works, which there's going to be a loss of in the next year or so. It'll be replaced by buses for many journeys will be cancelled. Well, yeah, that's from Scotland, so Edinburgh or Glasgow, and that's all the way to London. Every train that passes here, it's Glasgow or Edinburgh, always to London.
London that way?
That way, yeah. It's on its way to London, that train now.
Oh, must be some variations then.
Yeah.
Are you not worried about slipping? Because I know you got mountain boots or walking boots on.
Yeah.
But that doesn't give you any traction anymore.
It gives me more than you've got. It gives me a lot more than you've got. Got big treads on. So it's taking all that mud and making it like a little raft. Oops. Like a little raft for my feet. But yeah, I feel more confident in these than I would be in running shoes or trainers.
Well, these are on their last legs. The backboard of the shoes, like this part, is like broken.
Well, more the reason not to be wearing them in this sort of weather or conditions. You'd have been better with those shoes that I showed you. I know you didn't like them, but it wasn't a fashion parade.
No, I didn't say because of the fashion. It was more of like comfort.
Yeah.
I'll try them on.
Maybe for another time. We've still got a few more walks in us yet before you run off to the army. Lots of people run off to the circus, but
Calling me an elephant or something?
no,
Calling me like an...
no. It's a thing that people used to do when they got fed up at home. They used to go. Not saying you're fed up at home, but I'm just saying people who were often when the circus came, they joined the circus and became circus people.
Circus people.
Yeah. My grandson Reese nearly became a circus person. He spent enough time with them. When the circus came to town during lockdown times, they couldn't move, so they were stuck in Morecambe for months and months. And Reese was living with us at the time, and he got to know the circus people pretty well.
Who are the circus people?
Well, people who are in a travelling circus, people who do acrobats and not so much animal acts these days, but
No, I think they've been banned, haven't they?
yeah, mostly. Horses though, they still do the horses and the high wire act, trampolining, clowns,
Yes.
all that sort of stuff. And then when the fairground came, just get down this bit. When the fairground came, he actually went off with the fairground people.
What, to do some work?
Yeah, they had a ride, really fast rotating wheelie thing, and he joined the.
Enjoying the forces.
He joined. The man wanted a labourer to, help to put the machine up and take the money and all of that. So he joined the guy had a family. There was him and his wife. I think there was a son involved, and Reese, and off they went. So he left Morecambe again. So he's had a varied existence as Reese. He's done a lot of jobs. He's a scaffolder, but he's been a doorman, a bouncer as well.
Is he big?
Yeah. Yeah, he's big. And what else? He's worked in a fishing tackle shop. Did that for a while. Removals. He's done that. Furniture removals. Oh, he's done all sorts.
Yeah. I can't even find a job at Aldi.
Worked at factories. Yeah.
Done it all.
So this is the last part of the trail now. This is to get us back to the car park in about 300 metres. So there's no more climbs or scrambles or whatever. Not so much the scrambles, but little limestone rock facey bits to fall off. I usually bring my bin liner with me, put the boots in, and then wash them off when I get home.
How do you wash them off?
Just spray them. Although I've got to sort out that that pipe outside.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I said, oh no, it's broken.
But Aaron reckons it's not split. The pipe itself's not split.
No, it's not. It's just cloth. The actual connection. I think it's just a matter of retightening it.
Yeah, that's what he said. Although the jet wash is at Mrs. Taylor's, isn't it? But I think everything's at Mrs. Taylor's. All the tool bags and everything are there.
It's not raining. It was raining down in Wharton.
Yeah, we got a few spots, didn't we? Just a few. Or was that just water dripping off leaves?
I only said it because when you're held onto like the branches and you let go, I'll shake.
It's more like water in the leaf. Di had a theory I'd mentioned from what I saw before. These splodges on the trees, they dab paint on them when they're going to cull them, when they're going to cut them down. So the man comes along, he knows which one to cut down. I was thinking what we saw, that Lady Di's right, and these are just being marked. But that'd be sad to cut that tree down because that's got a spot on it.
Yes.
But by the same token, it would be odd for somebody to just be firing a random shot at that tree when it's miles from the actual range.
And it's too perfectly round. Like them are too perfectly round to be a paintball.
Yeah.
Because when a paintball crashes off,
it splats and runs a bit. It runs a bit, yeah. So there that might have its time up.
Yeah.
Being in the middle of that path. What a shame, because I'll just walk around it, not doing any harm.
See, that one's been cut down. Got tree stump.
Yeah. but they can grow back a bit. Yeah.
On the tree stump.
Yeah, they start to grow little shoots out of them. There was a film, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I think Mel Gibson was in it, if I remember rightly. But anyway, so one of the scenes took place on Hadrian's Wall, the Roman wall. Okay, that, you know, it's been there for 1500 years, whatever. I've walked it a few times, a lovely walk. And there's a gap. You walk along the wall and you go down, gap, and you climb up again. The wall's all there. And this gap would have had a gate in Roman times for people to go through. But a tree's grown there over time, a sycamore tree. So this gap in the wall became known as Sycamore Gap. And there's a scene from that film, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, where Robin Hood's fighting, having a sword fight, and it's kind of like famous for that. So when you're walking it, you know that Sycamore Gap's coming up. And then year before, 23, two guys came along, an older guy and a younger guy, and they cut it down. And the tree had been there like a long time. People had got engaged at that tree, you know, they did all sorts of things had gone on. That tree's famous. When you're on the walk, everybody took pictures of the Sycamore Gap tree and became even more famous after the film. And they
prosecuted.
And they went to court. I don't know what the result of it was, or whether it's still going on, but it's like September 2023. I'd actually been on a walk on my own. Lady Di had gone off on holiday with her friend Adele, and I was driving back from Windermere when I heard it on the radio, and that was September 2023. But yes, I'm sure they were brought to court, but I don't know what became of the conviction. But they were trying to grow little stalks off it, not stalks, but
They'll never be the same though.
Well, that was a big round, big old tree. It just chainsaw probably.
Yeah, but I wonder what runs through the head of someone in that morning.
Who knows?
Oh. So, do you all fancy cutting a really famous tree down?
Yeah.
Why?
I think
a bit of banter.
Yeah, just the whole country's in uproar. There was like mourning for the tree. I mean, that's how, not just in this part of the world, but everywhere was people going mad. So, you know, I suppose even people who didn't know the tree, you know, it was pretty famous, but not everybody would have known of the tree. But once it was on the television, everybody's an outcry. But they've got like these, they've taken like, part of it's like the tree's DNA basically, and we're trying to regrow, because they're cloning it, that's what they're doing, to regrow it. But I mean, that would have taken, who knows, 150 years to get to the size it was. Again, you'd have to Google it, I don't know. But so it won't, you know, anybody around now won't see it back to its full potential, but just the idea that maybe it will grow back. But yeah, what clowns to cut it down. Anyway, talking of well, actually nothing to do with clowns.
Where are the clowns?
Bringing the clowns, here we are. We've made it. One circular route of the crag. So, I wonder what they're doing on the cherry picker. Yeah, it's an old road, quite likely too. If you go that way, you come to the caves eventually. It brings you up to the top a different way, but we want to go out on this road. Yeah, it says about the cave down here. seems to be some work going on there on the quarry face there. Some heavy engineering works. There's a digger there and it's a huge cherry picker machine. I don't know what that's really doing. But it's something to do with the birds that nest there. Lucas.
Hello.
Hi. What do you think then of your first walk around the crag?
Yes, it was very scenic and very. It was how long? Oh,
5.25 miles we did
5.25
today.
miles.
Yeah.
It feels harder because obviously you're going uphill and up the mountain.
And we climbed about 1,100 feet.
Yes.
All in all.
So
Up and down and up and down again. Yeah.
yeah, but it's very nice up the mountain. I very enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's not too many people, so that's always a good. So you've got it not to yourself, but you can concentrate more on walking and whatever. But yeah, it's very nice. We'll do it again, definitely.
Oh, great! Because we're doing it again. I don't know when, but we'll do it again before you leave this area. Oh, that's fabulous. Okay, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's a bit misty, but it's not cold. It's not wet. You know, it's quite invigorating when you get out here. Once you get moving a bit, it's you forget it's 0 degrees. But yeah. Okay, well, from Wharton Crag, Wharton Quarry, this is your old mad dog. Bye-bye.